Okay guys, before I start, I would like you guys to think of anything you want. It could be a person, a time period, a song, anything. Now that you have that thing in mind, I'd like to ask you to relate that thing to a color. And now ask yourself why. Why that color over anything else? Imagine if you could do this every single day unconsciously. Synesthesia is described by the American Synesthesia Association as the customary boundaries between the senses appear to break down, sight mingling with sound, taste with touch. To make this simpler, the five senses, as well as other bodily functions such as emotions or memory, intertwine in the brain and cause more in-depth understandings of perceptions. Although to this day, it's not 100% sure why this is caused, how stuff works appears to think that it's a cross-wiring of lobes in the brain where the senses or other perception lobes are, or there is more activity in the white and gray matter in the brain. A study from 1987 from the Barron and Cohen team appeared to find that synesthesia with synesthesia that have to do with sound found more activity in the lobe of the brain that had to do with sound, as well as the other sense that was included. Other types of synesthesia include chromesthesia, which is color that appears to have a sound. For example, when you hear blue, you hear either a low pitch or a high pitch sound. Or auditory tactile, which is sound that has a touch or a feeling. And in fact, two celebrities, Lady Gaga and Billy Joel, have this type. Like I said earlier, I experience synesthesia, and my type is called ideesthesia, which means that things that I see on an everyday basis, as well as memories, evoke a type of color. This can happen between people. For example, people radiate auras, not exactly seeing them, but almost like an imagination rather than a perception. This is the same with songs. For example, when I hear a song, I feel it as like a pressure in my chest, like how ink looks when dropped in water, or how it feels when a train stops. This also happens with time periods and other things along that matter. The following are some examples of different colors and the way I perceive them. For example, blue is kind of a color of worry, it's a color of laziness, it's the color of the zodiac sign Aries and a few people that have haunted me in the past. Yellow is a happy color, it's a love color, an unconditional love color. It also reminds me of one of my best friends. Off-white is a tricky one because it's not one of the basic colors, but also required me to have a more understanding of my life to figure out why this one made me feel this way. Makes me think of the zodiac sign Capricorn. It makes me think of the song Magic by Coldplay. And it's also kind of a peaceful but adrenaline color. I use synesthesia as not only to use as understanding of my life, but also as an outlet for higher thinking and mindfulness. For example, if I know a person's color, I can source their inner issues or how they might react to certain decisions, as well as if colors, as well as people and songs with the same colors or hues, they might like the same songs, which also aids me in song recommendations, as well as if I know something similar from a past event, then it might help me figure out if something's a good idea or not. Some common misconceptions about synesthesia is that, number one, people think it is disease. Although this might be something that is commonly thought about, it might in fact be the opposite. Some researchers think that people with synesthesia often score higher on tests that involve memory or intelligence, as well as there are no medical defects to synesthesia, as all they have is just a different thinking than everybody else. Another misconception about synesthesia is that what thoughts are conscious and what thoughts are unconscious. Many people that I've talked to think that they have synesthesia because a color reminds them of that because they wore that color that day or because that's their favorite color. What is unconscious is the thought of what color a person is, but what's conscious is that why is that person that color and what do they have to do with other people of the similar color. If you want to know if you do have synesthesia, these are the following simple statistics. 40% of people with synesthesia have a first-degree relative that has a similar type. A majority are women, and they also have a large amount of them have a learning stunting disability, for example, ADHD or schizophrenia or another varying mental illness. Also, although most synesthetes are born with synesthesia without knowing, some amputees acquire it after their process of being amputated as well. In conclusion, synesthesia is an increase in activity between lobes of the brain, and they cause you to have higher in-depth thinking. Mine is called ideesthesia, but there are over 80 different types. If you want to know more about synesthesia, or if you have it, let me know. I'm going to leave you off with a quote by Marcus Aurelius saying, "Adapt yourself to the life you have been given and love people whom destiny has surrounded you." Thank you.